long ago in a time far away, or a time long ago in a land far away, a king named Gordius commissioned a knot to be created. A knot with apparently no beginning and no end. It became known as the Gordian knot. And he prophesied that whoever should undo this knot would go on to rule the world. Well, with incentive like that, people came from all around to try. To no avail, until a young man named Alex, or Alexander, said, "Show me this knot." And he used this power of imagination. He didn't even touch the knot. Using his imagination and his sword, he smote the knot, and sure enough, it came apart. He undid it. Some people call that cheating. But he went on to rule the world, or to conquer the world anyway, as the knot went on to unravel, much as this tale did. And people couldn't help noticing that by some strange coincidence, it had come apart in 3 equal pieces. Well, this was a famous story down through the ages until another young man in a small island called Angleland ruled a whole bunch of knights who sometimes would draw straws when there were strange tasks to do. And sometimes what started out being equal would end up not being quite so equal. Well, this would concern Arthur, as his name was, who had studied with a great mentor named Merlin. Merlin had taught him the same lesson that I've been taught about the power of imagination, and so he stretched his imagination where things would at least give the appearance of equality, all things being equal. Now, this could come in handy in the strangest ways, because sometimes something as simple as seating arrangements, sometimes, well, in this case, everybody wanted to sit on the left hand or the right hand of Arthur, and it created a whole bunch of trauma. So people kept going off in different directions, you see, and he wanted unity above all, so he thought, well, it had worked for him so many times in the past. He said if he could exercise this wonderful facility that Merlin had taught him about imagination, he thought he would give it a try again and try to figure out the problems to the solution to the seating arrangement. And he came up with the idea of round. Not so innovative today when we have lots of round tables, but perhaps at the time it was. Now, of course, this is a knotty solution. Can you imagine this knot? Imagine with me, if you will, where we made a seamless, mystical round table. Now, into this mystical circle came a man named Lancelot, who was a bit hung up on himself, and also a little bit hung up on the king's wife, which opened up a rift in the round table at one end, and along came a young man named Mordred, who opened up a rift in the other side, and there was Lancelot with perhaps more than his share, Guinevere caught in the middle, and, well, Arthur all knotted up on the floor, not in very good shape, but he remembered, if you gather all the disparate ends together, as Merlin had taught him to do, and once again, ignoring, by the way, the apparency of the different depths of things, he once again stretched his imagination and got some things more on an even keel for a while. These are 2 different parables, which I think come in handy, if you will remember, in solving life's problems. Scott Peck of The Road Less Traveled said, life is a series of problems, and how well we solve them is a measure of how well and how successful we are living our life. So if you will remember with me that and the parables of the Gordian knot.